So apparently I was doing this live and it was muted because it was hooked up to my Bluetooth headphones. So I forgot to disconnect those. So sorry about that for those who were here. So let's go ahead and do this again. So as the title suggests, we're talking about how everything is mental, and this is the heater that's on, so hopefully that's not too disruptive. But we are talking about how everything is mental, you guys. I've been on this journey. I'm just so mad because my other video was flowing so nicely. Ugh, I was dropping some gems, everything. But everything is mental. And today I was just sitting here kind of thinking about, today and yesterday, I was thinking about how much I survived in this time of my life. To me, this has been a real time of letting go, integration, releasing certain ideas about myself, about certain people, about how I viewed them, how I viewed life, how I viewed myself. And the integration process has been very trying, but I always come out feeling and knowing that it was so worth it. Like a lot of times, you don't be feeling like it's worth it. I've said that a lot to myself. I've been like, oh my goodness, like this is not worth it. Like everything you go through, but then you come out and you survive everything that you did. You survived the revelations you had of people. You survived life circumstances. You survived thinking that you were never gonna bounce back. And I'm still in a bounce back period of my life. Everything I've had to lose, but everything I'm going to gain in this process. Mm, right now, it's very much worth it. I was also talking about this time that we're in. Like a lot of us are talking about, for example, this political climate, right? Which is very much hectic. Me personally, it's not to say that I don't think it's not important to know what's going on, but I'm not emotionally attached to things like the political climates and politics and this person is doing this and that in the media world and things like that. I don't attach myself to that. I have much more to worry about. I am a spiritual person for real. My spirit is more important than anything that could be possibly ruining what's going on and this and that. I'm very much like that. And during this time, you're going to have your mental intact. There's nothing wrong with keeping up on what's going on and things of that nature. Hello, thank you for joining. Were you here in my last stream? Hello. It's going to be very important for you to keep it together emotionally. Like that's another thing I was talking about. Um, how a lot of people are talking about like nervous system regulation and things of that nature. I've been on that for a long time. We wasn't calling it nervous system regulation, but I always knew that my nervous system was a bit more sensitive. It was a bit more able to be inclined to be tapping into everybody else's energy, everything else is going on, making me a very much more nervous, sensitive person. So now nervous system regulation is this big thing. Oh, regulation nervous system, regulation nervous system. Yeah, during these times, you might want to do that. You might want to do that. I listen to a lot of other streamers that talk about things like this, and if you don't do what you need to do to keep yourself regulated, especially your emotions and the way that you respond and react to things, yeah, this is definitely not going to be a good time for you, especially if you're more spiritually inclined. Okay, if you have this sensitive nervous system and things like that, and you're easily distracted or you're easily able to be manipulated, or you know, somebody getting a reaction out of your thing, it's gonna be a very hard time for you. And lucky for me, this is a journey I've been on for a long time, regulating myself. Okay, but another thing I was talking about too in the last stream before I got cut off was the mentality that you're going to need to have really through life. But if you are on the spiritual journey, you're going to have to start looking at things a little bit differently versus, woe is me, or versus, whoa, life is doing me in, or, oh, it might be a punch for something. It was the same for me not too long ago. I went through things that I never imagined I was going to go through and experience. But, I'm coming out on the other side, and with clarity, it was very much worth it for me. That's the mentality that luckily I've always come to. When you're in it, it's not so easy. It's not so easy to be like, man, it's all right, it's going to be worth it, or I'm going through this for a reason, or I'm going to come out stronger and better. Yeah, it don't feel like that when you're in it. It very much feels like, hello, it very much feels like you're not going to survive it. It very much feels like it's not worth it. Sometimes it very much feels like you don't want to even be here no more, because what's the point? Why am I here? At least for me. I know it's for a lot of people too. And my mentality, luckily, has been a lot stronger, has been becoming a lot stronger over time, to know that I can do hard things. We don't want to do hard things, but some people enjoy doing hard things. Some people really get off on it. I don't really love doing hard things, but to go through these things and to know that I can survive hard things. I could do hard things and come out on top. I could do hard things and gain and glean lessons. I could do hard things and become a better, stronger, wiser woman. I can do that. I can go through things that I never would have imagined going through and still live and still breathe and still have dignity intact and still have self respect intact and still have self value intact. Mm, you ain't messing with nobody like that. And you have to have that mentality. You have to have that mentality that when you going through, you gonna be better. What's that song? I'm stronger. I'm wiser. I remember that from church. I'm better, so much better. You gotta do something. You know what I'm saying? Do something to lift yourself. Do something to be like, this is gonna be worth it in the end. It is gonna make me so much stronger and taller. My nervous system's gonna be strength. You know what I mean? Everything, like, you have to look at things like that. That's why even since young, I don't allow what's going on TV and social media to get me all wrapped up. That TV can go off. I don't even watch TV like that. The TV can go off. Okay, social media can get deactivated. I don't even do a whole lot of social media like that anymore. I don't allow things to dysregulate me and get me all emotionally upset and getting in debates about this and that, about shit I don't really care about, and all of that. I'm not, certain things I'm not even having a conversation about. We're not going back and forth about none of that. If it dysregulates me, I'm not in a place of being dysregulated, and people around you will feel that. So you don't have to worry about too much when you really integrate that into your spirit, when you really integrate that into your being and who you are. If you really are sensitive to an extent, you will feel that in your body. You will feel changes in your body. You will feel the changes in your mind. You will walk different. You will talk different, because now it is a part of who you are. You have literally integrated it into your being. And that's the work. And that's all mental as well. It starts up here. Up here, you need to be like, I'm doing this thing and I'm coming out of this thing unscathed. Even with a little bit of scars, I'm unscathed. Okay? Get your mentals right, people. Do what you love, do what you enjoy when you can. Create a better life for yourself little by little. It don't have to be a grand thing. For me, even with everything, oh man, my life is rebuilding little by little, and it's a beautiful thing. Because when I come up out of this, it's certain things people would never be able to tell me again. It's certain ways people would never be able to treat me again. It's certain places I will never dwell in again or inhabit again, or that's not even the words I'm looking for. Just being in certain spaces, it would never happen again at this point. After I've done the work to integrate what I've experienced and what I've gleaned and what I've learned from things I went through, certain things will never be able to happen again. And that's a beautiful thing, and that's how it should be. And sometimes it takes some time. Sometimes it takes a few times to get that right, as it did for me. Okay? So this was really just like a little random chit chat. It wasn't really anything I really specifically wanted to get on here and talk about. I just wanted to get on here and talk because I love this green background with my pink, and I'm like about to get on here. I got my hair out, and yeah. So I hope that you all are taking care of yourselves spiritually and mentally during this time. And that's another thing, talking about surviving hard times. We've done it. We've done it time and time and time again, over and over and over. So what makes this different? What makes this different? Like, we not gonna get through it. Since time immemorial, we've been getting through hard things. We've been surviving hard, tough things. So it's no different than today. And what's going on today is always something. It literally always is something. We gonna keep getting all emotionally dysregulated every time. Every time y'all keep letting these people on these TV play with y'all. Why? Why? Life in itself is enough to deal with. And yeah, it's all by design. It is all of it. And so keep that in mind. Keep it in mind. But that's another story for another time. So, if you are returning here on my channel, if you've been following me for a while, you've seen that I've started a Road to Reverend playlist, and I really do want to get back onto that. So basically, Road to Reverend. Ooh, I got some good ideas for that too. I got some really good ideas coming up, and that's another thing during this time, like with coming through and being brought through the things I've been being brought through. There's so much clarity on how I'm being prepared to express myself, how I'm preparing to be, and it's really what I've always been, but I'm coming back to it. I remember me and a friend, there's actually a video on here where me and a friend are talking about that, about, can't remember what I titled it, but in my lives you'll see the thumbnail of me and her on there. And we were talking about that, like, do you come back to who you are? Do you become brand new? Which one? And I think we both said that it's kind of both. Excuse me. It's new to you because of where you are now or where you've been for maybe a great majority of your life. But for a lot of us, it's who we already originally were. So it's like it's new, but at the same time, we're coming back to who we always were. You know, it's paradox. It's like the nature of reality. It's paradox, right? So I believe I'm just coming back to who I always was and who I always was supposed to be, who I always was meant to be, before me, like a lot of people, before we allow society to mold us, how we allow family and friends to mold us based off of their experiences or their nervous systems or their upbringings and things. We had our own unique design. We have our own unique design when we get here. And that's how we are to operate. Despite what society is talking about, despite what your parents are talking about, or family and friends, or whoever you've been around is talking about, you are here to be who you are here to be at the end of the day. So in my experience, I'm coming back to that, and a lot of y'all in trouble, babe. A lot of y'all in trouble. Because sometimes being who you are makes people so uncomfortable, and it brings things out of people. It brings things out of people that they feel like they are short. And I've had the exact same experience. Sometimes it still happens to me. Sometimes I'm like, dang, well, I'm not there yet. When I'm looking at other people, I'm not there yet. You know, comparison, it happens. But when it comes to me and where I'm at now, I can't be like too concerned about that. And I know where I'm not yet at that I'm going to be. I'm going to get there at some point. But that's my mental too talking. You gotta have the mental. You gotta have the mental to be like, I'm gonna get through. I'm gonna get to where I want to be. I'm gonna get to where I desire. I'm gonna get to who I've always been. But that also requires you to have a level of internal processing and Accountability, that's a big one too. Taking accountability for who you are and where you're going. Take accountability. All right. So I hope that you are taking care of yourselves. Take care of your mental during this time, even in the smallest ways. In the smallest ways, eat something you like, watch something you want on TV, take a day to like truly relax, to meditate, to pray, or whatever your spiritual practice is. Do it. Stop letting these people, and these people are these people on these TVs, these people and these physical people in your lives. Stop letting these people get you all worked up and dysregulated. Stop. That y'all give way too much power to something else outside of y'all, especially politics. Oh, I'm so tired of y'all. Oh, president, and people vote, and you didn't vote, or you voted for this person. Like, I'm tired. I'm about to focus on my own mental and on my own life. Because either way, it's getting done. I don't give a fuck. Ooh. How about y'all? Peace and love. Check out the Tabooish website. I put the link in the description box. Check out my blog, y'all. Check it out. Peace and love.